Most African countries devote less than 20% of their national budget to education. The average percentage of qualified teachers per country was 78% in nursery schools, 89% in the primary, and 80% in the secondary. Figures that show that the African education sector needs reconstruction, one of the priority projects of the African Union's Agenda 2063. Details in this report. Promoting science and digitalization for a more resilient education sector is a challenge that the African Union is launching through the Continental Education Strategy for Africa 2015-2025. This vision is reflected in the inclusion of education and good governance applied to the education sector.
Also, education at all levels to be strengthened through innovative initiatives to enhance access, relevance, and inclusiveness and quality.
To achieve her educational goals, experts recommend that Africa invest in her infrastructure. Currently, most African countries devote less than 20% of their national budget to education. Only about 1 in 3 countries devote less than 15% of the national budget to education.
We believe that the African Education, Science and Technology Fund, as well as any domestic financing, should contribute towards the improvement of Africa's competitiveness in the 21st century. With skilled and well-educated workforce, state-of-the-art and well-equipped laboratories, to ensure that science can contribute to bring solutions to the problems that Africa is facing, including lack of properly educated and appropriately skilled human resource.
Improving African education systems also requires strengthening the skills of teachers. Above all, the challenge is to have qualified teachers on the continent. In 2019, the average percentage of qualified teachers by country was 78% in nursery schools, 89% in the primary, and 80% in the secondary.
But here in Africa, we're not doing that. So I love the way that the SDG goal is being structured. It's quality education, not just education. It's good that we are talking about number of out-of-school students. We should also focus more on the students in our school at the moment. How well are they learning? And I love how Her Excellency Opelino puts it, that the students of today will be working, the jobs are not even existing yet, just like we're not having what we call machine learning experts several years ago. So I hope we focus more on the professional development of our teachers so that they can take Africa to that height that we deserve.
The African Union wants to provide equal access to education for all in Africa. On the continent, considerable efforts have already been made. The proportion of school dropouts among those of primary school age have been halved from 35% in 2000 to 17% in 2019. The proportion of school dropouts among those of primary school age and secondary school cycle has fallen from 43% to 33% over the last 20 years.